Can you hear me? There, okay. Here. You guys hear me? Is that better? I don't have any sound.
Bugs there.
There we go. Can you hear us now?
Yes, thank you.
Great, okay. Okay, is there anybody on the line that would like to make a public comment? Nobody has their hands up on there that I see.
Nope.
Okay, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda.
Hello.
Yes, you have a
I want
public comment?
Yeah, I wanted to make a comment.
Okay, please state your name and area of residence, please.
My name is Kenneth McCune. I live in Goldendale. The reason I'm calling is I'm interested in what your decision on the four-way stop on Mill Street and Broadway is going to be. I think it's a bad idea myself. I think it's going to cause a problem there because of the flow of traffic leaving town should not be interrupted. You need to get those people out of town as fast as they need to get, instead of sitting there deciding on what three other people are going to do at the stop sign. You got to keep the traffic flowing. You're going to create a choke point there, especially during Cricket, the fair and other events that go on up there. That's all I had to say. I don't think it's a good idea to put a four-way stop at Mill and Broadway. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Okay, is there anybody else on there that would like to make a public comment? Okay, hearing none, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. And that is approval of the agenda and consent agenda.
I move to approve the consent agenda and the agenda is presented.
Second,
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the agenda and the consent agenda. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and we have a presentation from the Lions Club, Mr. Jay Olson. Thank you, sir.
Just that time of year that I need to check in with you again.
Yes, sir.
Think you have all the paperwork already in front of you, and the license and the insurance waiver.
Nobody gave us any paperwork.
What?
We weren't given any paperwork, just that you
You
asked.
gave me a copy.
I didn't.
Somebody in the office gave me a copy a week ago. Yeah. Do you need this to make a copy?
We need a copy after they give you a consensus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, anyway.
No problem.
That's why we touch bases here, to see if we got any glitches.
Tie up all the loose ends.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have any questions? As a sponsoring organization, as Lions Club, this is, how do I say, mostly a formality for us. We just gotta check with you.
Yep.
Just to see that everything is up and on board with the city.
Well, Mayor, yeah, I just wish the fire chief was here tonight to make a comment about this. I don't know if he has a comments or concern or everything's a go or what, but then.
We've talked about it,
Okay,
from the
okay.
city's perspective, it's, business as usual. As far as fireworks on the 4th of July,
Mhm.
we have our rules in place.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
Lions Club sponsors those fireworks sales like they have every year for how many years, Mr. Olson? Quite a few.
Quite a few.
Quite a few. And so,
More than three.
yeah.
Yeah, okay, good, yeah.
Okay, now do we need a motion for this?
No, just a
This-
consensus.
Just a consensus from the council, for business as usual, the Lions Club to be selling fireworks. Like they usually do.
Yep.
Okay, we have unanimous consensus. Anybody have any questions for, okay, thank you, Sandy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Olson, appreciate it. He told me I could start calling him Jay now, because he hasn't been my school teacher for over 30 years. I'll work on that, Jay.
It's a tough retraining program.
Yeah. Thank you, sir, appreciate it. Okay, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda. And that is, department reports. And I'll start over here with Chief of Police Mike Smith.
All right, thank you, Mayor. I said, things have been going pretty much the same as they've been going all year. We did have a pursuit last night. Officer Bracken Kruger was involved in a pursuit that started here in town over by Bickleton Highway. Driver of the suspect vehicle was a Kerry Collins, his 54-year-old male with Dallas.
Yeah, we just, beat my.
He went to conduct a traffic stop for speeding. Turned out the vehicle started swerving through town, showing signs of DUI, driving under the influence. Officer Bracken activated his lights and got hindered. Conducted a pursuit that lasted all the way to Pigeon. We were like, we had assistance with KCSO deputies and Pigeon by Salmon Police. We were able to spike strip the Jeep down in Pigeon. It was a slower pursuit, but it had all the state guidelines to continue with it. He was arrested for DUI and felony eluding, and so that ended well. Nobody was hurt, no vehicles crashed, and he went to jail. So yeah, it was a great cooperation with all the other agencies involved. So.
That sounds like it would have been a good time for me to be on a ride.
You should have done that.
Should have came and picked me up
Sunday afternoons, for some reason, have been that kind of exciting.
Sunday afternoon, yeah. Anything else, chiefs?
Nope, everything else going good. Looking forward to the events and fireworks coming up, and so we're just
Yes,
kind of trying to staff up and be ready for the upcoming events.
excellent, thank you, sir. City Administrator Sandy Wells.
So the Econy Park Airport design is done at the end of June, so we should have that all completed. Dustin will have his portion of that all done, so we should be submitting that to the state by the June 30th deadline.
Great,
And then the airport fuel project will also be done at the end of June, so we should have all our reimbursements done to them
excellent,
by the end of the month as well, so.
excellent. Is
And-
Doug on the line?
Yeah.
Okay, Public Works Director Doug Frantum?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I just kind of want to do a mid-summer update. Some of the projects that we have going, the sewer treatment plant project is coming to a close. We have a few punch list items and a few issues that we found being resolved. The ASR project that we've been working on for the last couple of years, all of the testing with that has finally been done at Dingman, and we're just waiting for the results on that to see what our steps moving forward is.
Does everybody know what ASR means? Maybe you could explain real briefly what ASR means. I know what it means.
So ASR is Aquifer Storage Recovery, and basically we're looking at feasibility of using excess spring waters to bring the aquifer that's basically sits right under the city of Goldendale to bring its static level higher and make it a more resilient aquifer if we ever need to use it in the future, which we're uncertain that that's going to be something that we need to use, but it's just kind of a study to see if that aquifer will hold up if we were to transfer water from the Mountain Springs into that without it going against our water rights.
Thank you, Dave.
And the phase 2 of the water line project, this year is going much better than last. They're probably about 50% complete. And right now they're looking at an estimated finish of the second week of August. We'll have a pavement preservation project coming to town this year, which is basically chip sealing many of the roads in town. Some of them they're going to grind up and chip seal. Some of them will just be an overlay of chip seal. And that is slated to start probably the week of July 14th. They wanted to start on the 7th, but we're afraid that might conflict with community days. So I think we're going to push them off to the 14th. So look for that to be coming to town pretty quick. Also on new projects, we have the Darlin Street reconstruction that goes from Mill Street to the city limits. And that's a full reconstruction with sidewalks on one side, rolled curb, all that kind of stuff. And that is also scheduled to start around the 14th of July. And I think at last council meeting, Adam Fisk kind of gave you a little update on the RTC grant that we received for kind of tracking sidewalk data and what have you. We're having a little bit of logistical issues with the app that they use for that, but we're trying to get that sorted out so we can get some good sidewalk data, which hopefully in turn will make it so we can actually get more sidewalk specific grant money to maybe update some of our sidewalks around town. And then on the public works crew side of things, they've been crazy busy with all these projects we got going and coming into town. They've also been crack sealing as well as dealing with normal day-to-day operations. I think that's about all I have to update this round.
Thank you, Doug. Appreciate it. Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah,
Ryan.
yeah. Doug, so on Mill Street, how long do you expect to do to complete that job?
I think that's a 60-day window.
Okay. Now that's redoing the whole street or just making patches?
Nope, that's a whole new road bed. They gotta
Okay.
move a sewer line and then road base, new asphalt, like I said, curb and gutter, to try to get rid of the sinking issues that we're having there towards the end. It'll also kind of reconfigure the intersection at Railroad in Darlin, which will hopefully deal with some of the safety issues that kind of come up there.
Yeah.
And just
Okay.
to
Make
clarify,
traffic
that's the Darlin Street reconstruction.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay,
correct.
That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, thank you, Doug.
Danielle,
Yeah.
yes.
I just had one thing for you, Doug. I just wanted to say, kudos to all of Public Works this year. It seems like you guys have just taken on so many different projects, and they're big projects. They're not small ones. And it seems like everyone's just plugging along and getting things done, even with the hiccups with what happened on Pipeline. I'm not Pipeline, I'm sorry. Yeah, Pine Street. Is that
Pine
it?
Street.
Pine, okay. Even with the hiccups there, that was not any of our Public Works fault. That was more of a contractual issue. I just wanted to say, great job to you and your crew. Please pass that down.
I'll do that. I appreciate that, and they'll like to hear that.
Keon, did you have your hand up?
Yeah, I wanted to say thank you as well for everything you guys have been doing. I was kind of curious how it's going along with the street painting.
So the painting, we don't usually do the like curbs and crosswalks until about mid-August, so they're fresh for school start and they last throughout the school year. The center line and fog lines we had set, I believe, to paint around the 27th, but our stripers called maybe today or Friday, and I don't think they're going to be able to come in till July sometime. So yeah, it's going to be a minute on that, but it is in the works.
Are you planning on doing Broadway and Collins at the same time?
We don't do Broadway. That's a state highway.
Oh, so they'll be doing all the painting on that.
Yeah, and I don't know what their schedule is on that. Cause the state basically deals with everything curb to curb. We only deal outside of that, so Collins Street will be done. The streets that are being chip sealed, we won't stripe those. They'll be chip sealed and then the contractor will stripe those once they're through. Otherwise, we'd just be covering up fresh paint.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem.
Okay, thanks, Deb. Appreciate it.
Yep.
We'll move on to the next item on the agenda. Under resolutions. Resolution 747, the sales and use tax increase. So the ordinance committee is met and the committee recommends passing the sale and use increase of 0.1%. The majority of the committee recommends the following split of 80% to the police department and 20% to the fire department. And I'll leave that up to council or members of the committee that would like to expand on that.
Just one question on that, the percentages, if there's need later on, we can amend that, correct? If for whatever reason, the fire department happens to need more, that can be amended at any.
I don't think so, because it's a vote of the people that comes in. I
Okay,
think it's in with the
So-
resolution, but I have to check on that.
okay,
So it'll be on the ballot.
as the 80-20.
As
Okay.
far as I know, I have to check
Yeah.
on that
Hmm.
to see.
If legal, obviously, if we could keep that not in stone on the ballot and just say, towards police and fire, that would probably be advantageous for us only so that if something does come up, it allows us to have that flexibility.
I'll ask our attorney and find out if we have to say it, if we're splitting it that way, or if we can just leave it broad to say it's police and fire.
I mean, I think that it's fine right now, but who knows what's gonna happen in a year, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can find the answer to that out and I can email you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Steve.
Is that money specifically earmarked for law enforcement and fire?
Safety.
Yeah, exactly.
And
And
nothing more,
no, yes. Except for 15% of it by law goes to the county.
Oh, yeah.
So, but that's just how it works. 15% goes to the county, 85% to the city to be split up between police and fire.
And then it's 80 and 20 of the 85%, whatever that number is.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You bet.
I move to adopt resolution number 747, authorizing the Clickitat County Auditor to place the matter of adoption of local sales and use tax of 0.1% for public safety, criminal justice purposes, and fire protection purposes.
I second
I'll
it.
second.
That's fine.
We got 3 seconds.
Whatever. Somebody else can take.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Bye.
Opposed? Thanks, everyone.
Abstain.
Ellie abstains. Thank you, Ellie. Okay, great. Well, we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and that is report of officers. And let's start over here with Mr. Johnston.
I'm good tonight,
Okay.
everybody. Let's move right along.
Okay, he's wanting to get out of here early, I guess. Theon, did you have a report?
I do not have a report to see.
Okay, thank you, Theon. Ellie,
I do not.
all right. Andy.
I'm good.
Okay, yes, and Danielle.
Of course, I'm gonna have to say
Okay.
something. Thanks, guys. So I just wanted to know, you did update about the ordinance meeting, but there were a couple updates that were supposed to happen from that last meeting. One of them, it was in the. Anyway, and the other one was a park meeting update. I just wanted to know how that went.
That meeting hasn't happened yet. We had to reschedule it because of some scheduling issues. We have that on, for next week, 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah,
And if you give me a second, I'll find the two ordinance things. You covered one of them, and for the life of me, I can't think of what the other one was for it. Well, apparently I can't find it now, so,
Well, if you think of it, let me know.
okay. Shall do.
Yes, thank you, Danielle. Mylan, Walling.
Yeah, well, thank you, Mayor. Well, I think we've got a fire season that's going on. The firemen are saying that we're 6 weeks ahead of the fire season. And so we got a really potential fire danger this coming summer. I just think we need to look at cleaning our yards up and lots and mowing them down. And then we don't have another meeting until after the 4th. And so I just want to say during the holiday, 4th of July holidays that our fireworks that we try to be very careful with the fireworks, and the fire department, the Goldendale Fire Department does an excellent job of patrolling the area and whatever, and I think we'll be okay. I have a concern, but I believe we'll be okay. That's what I had, Mayor.
Thanks, Mylan. I just had a couple things. Last Wednesday, I attended the AWC Small Cities Connectors event. That was in Granger. Yeah, it was a real good event. Got a chance to meet with lots of different city officials from other small towns like ours, and AWC staff, and able to share some and support and advice. And yeah, it turned out really good. We had a good long discussion on public records requests, how those are best to be handled, and different practices that can make things better. So yeah, it's really nice to be able to connect with other small town officials, and you can learn a lot from people who have been doing it for longer than you, and I was able to share some of our victories and defeats a little bit too. So it's nice to have those events. I look forward to having more of them. And I wanted to let everybody know Community Days is fast approaching, July 11th and 12th. Don't forget to put that on your calendars. Big thanks to the events committee and all of our community partners that have been working real hard with us over these last several months to put on this great annual event that everybody looks forward to. I think it has the potential of being the best Community Days yet in the history of Goldendale. I say that every year, but I mean it too. Okay, anyways, that's all I had. We'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and that's open public comment. Is there anybody here or on the line that would like to make a public comment? Any topic? Mr. Commissioner Ron Irig, please state your name and area of residence, please.
Ron Irig, Goldendale. I'm a resident of Goldendale.
Sir.
Real quick, I'd just like to say thank the council and the mayor for the good working relationship. It seems like everywhere I go and we have meetings, I know Steve and Dave and Lauren was at a meeting, and Mylan and Mayor, and I appreciate your openness. It seems like we're talking about some subject every week, Mayor, so.
Yep.
I'm just saying thank you, and feel free if you have questions. I know I called Mayor last week because we were brainstorming about the dog pound.
Yeah.
Or I'll get an update tomorrow on that, and see where we're at with that. Maybe an issue, it was stated that the county still had the funds till the end of September. I believe the contract is actually up at the end of this month. So we'll get a clarification on that, or whether we're getting an extension on that, but we're doing a little bit of brainstorming on that, how we can work together if that moves forward. And yeah, I just appreciate the open communication and thank the council for that. And as a city resident, I appreciate that too.
Yeah.
Because we deal with the same issues, just different levels, so thank you. And Mike, thank you very much too. I appreciate it. I know we talked quite a bit, so I just appreciation, because usually public comment, you always hear something else. And so it's just to say thank you for being a partner.
Thanks, Commissioner. Appreciate it. It's a special relationship the city of Goldendale has with Klickitat County, and we can't do anything alone, can we? Theon, did you have your hand up?
I did. I was just, just Ron speaking just now made me wonder when we're gonna do the next Better Together meeting. Can we try?
Absolutely, good point.
We can, we decided not to set another Better Together meeting up until after Community Days.
Okay.
Since this is our first time taking it back for the city. So thought that it would be best to wait.
Sounds good. I look forward
Thanks
to
for
it.
bringing that up, though. That was a really good, get together. And, we need to do that more often.
Mhm.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Dan. Is there anybody else that would like to make a public comment? Nobody else has their hands up? Okay, hearing none, we'll close public comment. And we'll move on to the next item on the agenda, and we have an executive session.
And there won't be a motion for the executive session.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Larry. Appreciate it.
So you're gonna. Yeah, keep Doug in. It's gonna stay in executive session.
Oh, that'd be great. Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah. And then we end it as.
Yes, we'll have to state how long we go into it for, correct?
Yeah, we'll need to state that before we end the recording.
Okay, before we end the recording.
How long do you wanna go into executive session?
Well, we can always extend it if we need to go over, but
15 minutes.
15 minutes sounds pretty
Good to
good.
me.
15-minute executive session.
Always a good starting point.
Yeah, yeah.
Never end there, but.
Well,
No, just.
There's been a few of those, Larry was like, oh, it'll just be 5 minutes. I'm in my head, no, I know better.